Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where several police officers harassed a student and violated his rights by showing up at his dorm and trying to make him criminalize himself when no crime was committed. In a video posted on September 15, 2023, the New Mexico State University Police Department received an anonymous 911 call reporting a student carrying alcohol into one of the dorm rooms. In response to this, Officer Pirtle arrived at the dorm building and walked up to the alleged room where he made contact with 19-year-old Joel Martinez, a law student at the New Mexico State University. This encounter was captured on Mr. Martinez's mobile phone, along with Officer Pirtle's body cam. We will also look at body cam footage coming from several other officers who later arrived as backup.
Oh, sorry. How can I help you?
Is there anyone else in here?
No, it's just me.
Okay. You mind just opening the door that way I can see?
What you trying to look for?
I just want to make sure there's no one else in there to start, and then I'll talk to you.
There's no one in there right now.
Okay.
Right.
Come out here and talk to me though.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest with you. So we got a report that you were seen walking into your dorm with alcohol. So
Okay.
Is there alcohol in there?
I don't answer questions. What's your name and your badge number?
Officer Pirtle, NMSU Police.
Title and name?
The security officer.
Security officer. Okay.
Okay. You have an ID with you?
I do.
Okay. Can I see it?
You suspect me of a crime?
I do.
Okay. What crime and how can you articulate it?
Minor in possession of alcohol. We got a report that you were walked in.
So it's like here that they said thing.
Okay.
It's right. It's like they said that he has, and that's how you're gonna articulate it.
So we don't have to go down this route. If you wanna go down this route, we can.
Well, I really don't, but like I'm studying right now. I'm doing homework. You knocked on my door. I'm out here. I want to know what's on. You say that they said that there's alcohol in this room.
Okay.
Oh, they saw me going into this room, and that there's alcohol in there. How can you articulate it though?
Okay, so that's why I'm here talking to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I still need to ID you.
No.
And then we need to go from there.
You have to suspect me of a crime.
I do.
You realize that cops in New Mexico don't have qualified immunity, right?
I do that.
Okay, so from here on, let's just be careful with what you're about to do right now. Okay. You're saying that you want my ID, but right now you or yourself can articulate a crime that I've committed.
Okay.
So
I already explained to you why I'm here. Why
okay,
I need your ID.
I know what you're here, but okay, is my ID gonna tell you if there's alcohol in that room?
No, but I still need to identify you.
My name is Joel.
Joel what?
Joel.
I need your first, last name, and your date of birth.
No, you don't.
I do. If you don't want to provide that,
you don't want to call Officer Donovan or one of your supervisors here?
Yeah, I can get a sergeant over.
Then calling him, because right now, this is not what you want to do right now, because this is a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
Okay. All right. Let me get a sergeant over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, right off the bat, we can quite easily determine that there was no reasonable suspicion, probable cause, reported eyewitness, or any evidence that would ascertain the alleged crime. According to New Mexico State University's Administrative Rules and Procedures, under Section 16.60, it stated that students who reside on campus and are 21 years of age or older may possess and consume alcohol consistent with the law and in areas designated by the Director of Housing and Residential Life. So, judging by this, it becomes rather unusual for Officer Pirtle to religiously believe that Mr. Martinez was the one who carried alcohol into his dorm room, and that he was certainly under the age of 21. Bear in mind that assumptions are not part of a lawful investigation. The officer had nothing to work with and was heavily relying on Mr. Martinez to somehow incriminate himself. This situation is reminiscent of the 2000 case of Florida v. JL, where the U.S. Supreme Court held that an anonymous tip, without more, does not establish reasonable suspicion to justify a police officer's stop and frisk of a person. In that case, police received an anonymous tip that a young black male standing at a particular bus stop and wearing a plaid shirt was carrying a gun. The police went to the bus stop, saw JL, a young black male wearing a plaid shirt, and frisked him. They found a gun and charged him with carrying a concealed firearm without a license. However, the Supreme Court ruled that the police did not have reasonable suspicion to stop and frisk JL, merely based on an anonymous tip. The court explained that such a tip, without more, lacks the moderate level of reliability needed to justify a stop and frisk.
212.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's my roommate.
Okay. You want to just hang out here then?
Is he detained?
No, that's fine. I just don't want anyone else
Then
going in the
you
room.
could go in then. If he's not detained, he's free to go.
Yeah, he's free to go, but he can't go in the room.
He can't?
No, not at this time.
Alright. Just let it be, bro. Someone called and said that they saw or me walk in there with a case of beer. But that's all they have, so.
So it's an investigation. I'm talking to him. He doesn't want to identify himself. So until we get this figured out, there's a sergeant on the way that's going to talk to him. Until this gets figured out, I don't want anyone to go in the room. You're free to go anywhere else. That's fine. You're not detained or anything, but that's what's going to happen.
Alright, is anything going to happen if I don't identify myself?
You can be arrested for concealing identity, yes.
So, okay, so I want you to say, if you don't ID to me right now, if I don't give you my ID, that you're going to arrest me. I want you to give me that ultimatum.
So, just hold on. You want to wait? You said you wanted to wait to speak to a supervisor, so let's just do that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And keep your hands out of your pockets for me.
As discussed many times on Audit Archive, the Fourth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures. Note that arrests and detentions are considered seizures under the law. Traditionally, courts held that any seizure required probable cause to believe that the person being seized had committed a crime. However, in 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court created an exception to the probable cause rule. It held that police could temporarily detain suspects as long as they had reasonable suspicion, a lower standard than probable cause, to believe the person being detained was involved in criminal conduct. Now, in this situation, keep in mind that in order to justify a detention, Officer Pirtle must be able to articulate specific facts that led to a reasonable suspicion that the suspect is involved in criminal activity. But we already know that the only thing Officer Pirtle had to work with was the anonymous 911 call. No solid evidence was used to back his alleged investigation, which was clearly unlawful at this point. Regardless, after several minutes of waiting, a supervisor arrived at the dorm building, and Officer Pirtle promptly explained the ordeal to him.
Hey, Justin.
Alright. Appreciate it. So, made contact with him at the door. He got his phone out and started recording right away.
Okay.
I explained to him why we were here. Got a report that he walked in there with alcohol. Asked him if anyone else is in the room. He said, no one else is in the room. I'm like, okay, can you open the door so I can see? Make sure no one else is in there. I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'll come out here and talk to me. Okay. So he comes out. So, are you suspecting me of crime right now? Am I being detained? All that kind of stuff. Explained to him what was reported to us, that he's suspected of taking alcohol into his dorm room, underage, and that I needed to identify him.
Okay.
Like, well, that's all hearsay. What is that going to do if you identify me? Well, we're suspecting you of a crime. It's a misdemeanor. So I at least need to identify you. What we do from there, whatever. But he gave me his first name as Joel, and doesn't want to give last name or date of birth, and asked to speak to Officer Donovan or one of my supervisors. So.
Cool. Okay. So right now we have minor in possession of alcohol, possibly.
And he asked me if anything's going to happen if I don't, or if he doesn't give me his name and date of birth. I told him that potentially you could be arrested for concealing identity if we want to go that route. Okay, I want you to give me that ultimatum right here, right now, that if I don't give you my ID, that you're going to arrest me for concealing identity. And I said, well, you want to talk to the supervisor, so how about we just wait till the sergeant gets here? He said that are you aware that MSU, or that New Mexico doesn't have qualified immunity? Yeah, so he went down that route, so I think that's what he's trying to get at. So that's pretty much where we're at.
Okay.
Concealing identity.
Now, while keeping the Fourth Amendment in mind, Officer Pirtle's requests were simply unconstitutional. In his own words, he first asked Mr. Martinez to open the door so he could look inside and confirm whether anyone else was in there with them. Then he started to demand ID without articulating a crime, which was another attempt to violate Mr. Martinez's rights. To make things worse, Officer Pirtle even explicitly threatened Mr. Martinez with arrest if he refused to identify himself, adding that he would be charged with concealing identity. According to Section 30-22-3 of the New Mexico statutes, concealing identity consists of concealing one's true name or identity, or disguising oneself with intent to obstruct the due execution of the law or with intent to intimidate, hinder, or interrupt any public officer or any other person in a legal performance of his duty or the exercise of his rights under the laws of the United States or of this state. On top of this, it's made clear that this section mandates that the officer asking for identity be acting in the legal performance of his duty, which requires that the state prove that the officer had reasonable suspicion to detain and question a defendant. Such was clearly not the case here, as we've already discussed.
Hi,
Hi, name and badge number, please.
Sergeant John Lovelace. My badge number is 212.
212. All right, thank you. Officer said here that if I don't ID, I will be subject to arrest. Is that true?
It's possible, yes.
Possible, yes or no? I need that ultimatum, or else I won't get my ID.
Okay, so technically right now, yes, you could be arrested for that.
Could. I need a yes or no. Like, I need you to tell me if you don't give me your ID right now, I'm gonna arrest you.
Why would I say that to you?
Because I need that ultimatum. Because right now you're asking,
Yes.
and I have the right to say no. Because you're asking. You're not. It's not a lawful order. Okay. I need you to make it a lawful order.
You're being detained for suspicion of minor in possession of alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see your ID.
Okay, and if not?
And if not, you could be considered
Could?
concealing identity.
Because New Mexico statute says that concealing of identity is a secondary charge. I would have to have been arrested or suspected of a crime.
No,
right now, you hear just
don't
hearsay.
have to be arrested or suspected. You're being suspected of having possession.
On what grounds?
Okay, so do you have any alcohol in your possession?
I don't answer questions. On what grounds?
Okay, so you don't have any alcohol in your possession.
On what grounds? I don't answer questions. On what ground? Yeah, that's her room, bro. Nah, yes, sir. They're trying to go in, bro. They're trying to ID me, but nah.
Okay, so who are you talking to?
I'm recording you.
You're recording. Okay, very good. If you want to hang out down there, you can. That's fine. So here's the deal. By saying could, what we're trying to do is we're trying to be cooperative with you and have you be cooperative with us and help us clear this matter up.
Okay, I gave him my name, Joel.
What's your last name?
You don't need my last name and you do not need my date of birth unless you want to run my name through your system. Are you trying to run my name through the system?
Do you have warrants for your arrest?
I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. I'm asking questions. I don't. It's my Fifth Amendment. Is it or is it not?
Okay. So the question is that like the officer told you, you're being suspected of having possession of alcohol underage. So in that case, the easiest way to prevent this is for you to let us know. Either somebody saw you carry a case of beer. You have a case of beer in your possession?
I don't answer questions.
Okay. All right. So the next step in this process would be: would you give us consent to check your room?
Nope.
To make sure that
Nope.
you have no alcohol in your possession.
Nope. I do not consent to any searches nor seizures.
Okay. Very good. All right. This is completely up to you how you want to play this.
You could get a warrant, or you could, or you have probable cause. Go ahead.
Right now, we do have reasonable suspicion that possibly a crime had been committed.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to investigate that.
Mm-hmm.
You're certainly welcome to refuse if you wish.
I know.
But we need to ID you.
Or
And if you do not present your identification, you can face a non-traffic citation.
You're saying could. I need you to say you will.
I'm giving you the opportunity to.
No, I need that ultimatum.
cooperative
I will
with
give
us.
you my ID if you say that I'm going to go get arrested if I don't give it to you.
So you'll give us if we say that.
If you say that, yes, sir. Because that's already grounds for me to set up litigation against you.
So you're threatening to sue us.
I ain't threatening nothing, brother.
That's what you just said.
It's not a
It
threat.
gives you grounds to.
It's not a threat. It gives me grounds. Does it or does it not? I don't answer questions.
Okay, so the easiest and simplest solution to this is for you to tell us your name, date of birth.
Joel.
Joel what?
Joel.
Okay, by just saying Joel, there's 1,000 Joels. I need a last name and a date of birth.
For
in
what?
order to
You're gonna
confirm-
run?
in order
I
to
told
confirm
you want
who
my
you
name.
are for the report. I need to have your name and date
You
of birth.
could.
It's
I didn't
simple.
even have to give you my first name for that report. You could literally put the citizen or the guy or the suspect. Yes, you can.
work like that.
Yes, it does. I'm a law student here. You're not gonna come over here and try to violate my rights.
So I'm not trying to violate your rights. I'm trying to be cooperative with you, and you be cooperative
Okay,
with us.
cooperate with me and accept that I'm not gonna give my ID unless I'm gonna get arrested. Say it and I'll give you my ID. Just say if you don't give me your ID, I'm gonna arrest you.
So you want us to threaten
You want us to
Yes, I
threaten
want you to give me that ultimatum if you really want the ID.
Threaten you. That's not how this is gonna
Why? Because you know you can't. You know you don't have that ultimatum. You know you can because you know that opens up for litigation. And to make this clear, I'm detained right now, right?
Correct.
Thank you.
As we've just seen, the sergeant was clearly out of options. Mr. Martinez had just used his commendable knowledge of the law to quite literally shut him and Officer Pirtle down. In fact, if we apply the Florida VJL principle we discussed earlier, both officers did not have sufficient grounds to detain Mr. Martinez. There was no corroborating evidence to the anonymous tip, and the officers certainly did not witness him carrying alcohol, nor did they have any other information that would suggest he was under the legal drinking age. Officer Pirtle's actions leaned heavily on the assumption that Mr. Martinez had committed a crime based on the anonymous tip alone. This is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. Speaking of which, it's also worth pointing out that Mr. Martinez rightfully invoked his Fifth Amendment several times to protect himself from incrimination. When an individual takes the Fifth, he or she invokes this right and refuses to answer questions or provide information that might incriminate him or her.
You have to stay over
No, I can't. I'm in your view.
I'm telling you, you need to stay over here.
Just keep recording, Sean. Don't let him intimidate you. Oh, let me take my hand on. Keep recording, Sean. Don't let him intimidate you. Oh, let me take my hand on my pocket.
Thank you.
There's two guys right here with Glocks and scared of a 19-year-old with the phone, bro.
I'm not scared of a 19-year-old with the phone I have. Come on, man, don't do that, okay?
No.
Seriously, that's
Take your
just
hand out your pocket.
me.
Do you see something in my pocket?
Okay,
right now?
well, we would like for you to do that for us, just to be cooperative,
Oh,
okay?
just to be cooperative, like just
come on,
like for you to
don't-
say what you want me to do. Are you googling the laws right now? Because
Okay.
that's really what you should be doing right now. All right, cool.
You okay with that?
Yeah, continue reading.
Are
this
you
section.
sure you're okay with that?
Yeah. I give you permission.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's
I
okay.
appreciate it. Okay, so sure.
You have a class at the end or what?
Okay, so here's why we need your name and date of birth. I'm going to read you the law because you are a law student, okay?
Sean, can you
According to
make
New
this again?
Mexico, it's all being recorded.
Yeah, I know, but
My
those
body
are hard to
camera's
get.
running.
So I'm gonna use my own.
So concealing identity consists of concealing one's true name or identity or disguising oneself with the intent to obstruct the due execution of the law,
Am I obstructing?
or, yes, technically you are, with the intent to intimidate, hinder, or interrupt any public officer or any person in illegal performance of his duties or exercise of his rights under the law of the United States.
Okay, so your investigation is investigating that I'm in possession of alcohol, right?
That's exactly
Okay,
what
and
we
if I don't
said.
if I give you my ID, is that gonna tell you if I do or do not have alcohol in that room?
If
Or is it
you-
just a
if
way
you
pathway
deny-
to find me with something?
No, the ID is so that we can identify who we are talking to. If you wish to deny us access to that room, that is totally within your rights.
I know.
But you refusing to identify yourself
I
to
know.
us by name and date of birth,
Yeah.
full name,
Mm-hmm.
date of birth, that is concealing identity,
Yeah.
okay?
Okay, so just tell me
So,
that if I don't give you
can-
the ID, you're gonna arrest me. Just
Okay.
say it.
Show us your ID. We need to see your ID, or
Or-
you will be arrested.
Thank you. Y'all got that right? Yeah. Yeah, you got that. Fucking pigs for real.
Why do you use that term?
Cause why the you searching my shit? Like,
We're not searching
no,
your shit.
yes, that's a
Go ahead and identify him real quick,
seize of
please.
my identification. Is it or is it not?
It's not a seizure. We just
Is
need
a
to confirm-
seizure of my identification, yes or no?
We just need to see who you are in order to
I
go
told you my
forward in the
fucking name.
investigation.
Told you my name. Did I or did I
Your
not?
legal name.
My
You gave
legal
us your
name.
first name.
What is my Joel? Not the legal name or what?
Joel what?
He has my ID. Go look at it.
Perfect. That's all we
Yeah.
needed. Thank you. That's all we needed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go down here real quick, please.
Am I able to go in my room?
No, not yet. Just hold up for just a minute, please, guys.
Now, at this point, the officers had blatantly violated Mr. Martinez's rights with absolutely no reluctance. Note that Officer Pirtle had already threatened to arrest Mr. Martinez before the sergeant arrived, but didn't make it imperative. Now that the sergeant was here, he gave Ms. Martinez two choices, either show ID or go to jail. It's no question that his rights were severely violated, as he was essentially forced to give them his ID.
Okay, so he's denying us for his consent to search. That's
No, it's fine.
But we have him ID'd, so we're going to make sure we take a report.
Yep.
And then So basically, we got called, somebody suspected him of having alcohol in his dorm room, carrying a case of beer in.
Okay.
He's 19 years old. We will take a case report on it.
Okay.
There'll be a case number drawn. Pretty much, basically, he's pushing the issue on the concealing identity. But now that we've negated that, we don't have to do any more. We will take a report just to document the
Okay.
incident. Okay. Any questions?
Just the report number.
Yeah,
in case
we'll get
you
that
guys
here.
get it, but-
We'll get that here in just a minute. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it, Joel. We're done. Okay. Have a good night. You guys can go to your room now. Thank you.
Stupid fucking pigs.
If we really wanted to push the issue, we could stop and lock the room down and get a search warrant. But we have an anonymous complaint.
Yeah, okay.
So it's really kind of one of those things that's up in the air. We don't want to do that.
Hey, I appreciate you though. You're a professional. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks.
Okay, two.
Are they?
Oh, wait, they're right here.
Hi.
I'm gonna stand right here.
Okay,
Just listening.
Yeah, you're listening? Mm-hmm. All right. Anything else I can help you guys with?
We
No,
just danced.
So you're just gonna stand around and get paid?
Yeah, sure.
You're just gonna stand around and get paid, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can just prove some braces. I'm gonna get complaints on both of your ass.
Okay.
And Chief Donovan's gonna know about this shit because he knows who I am.
Chief Donovan knows
Chief
you.
Donovan knows who I am.
Okay, very
All
good.
right.
Appreciate
Y'all
it.
fucked up for real.
Have a nice day.
Yeah, and did you find anything with that ID, brother? Did you find out if there's alcohol in here or not with that ID? Nah. So what the fuck
You
was
denied
the
us
point?
consent, so that's fine.
I didn't
Like
give you
I- like
consent.
I-
You could-
exactly.
Even if you could, you wouldn't.
So
If you
we're not
could, you
gonna
would've
argue with you. Have a
done
nice
it.
day.
Get the out of here.
Well, this is actually a common area, so we're allowed to be
Get the
here.
fuck out, go work. I pay you for something. Get out of here. Yes, I
Why
paid
are
you
you
for something.
doing this?
Fuck out of here. Because you got my ID for no fucking reason, brother.
Oh, okay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Have a nice day, sir.
Fuck
Thank you.
you.
Have a nice day. Yeah. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.
Ultimately, after forcing Mr. Martinez to give his ID and then noting his information down, the officers finally left the premises. The footage suggests that Mr. Martinez is certainly going to file a formal complaint against the New Mexico State University Police Department for their unlawful actions, which included illegal detainment and the violation of his constitutional rights. As of the date of this recording, no further updates have been made, and Mr. Martinez has yet to file the complaint. Be sure to check out our previous video, where we cover another outrageous police encounter